7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's now time for the Pony Cake Sports Podcast with your hosts, Josh Stevens, Tim Thompson, and Tom Schultz.
Woo! Hey. We are going to do another breakdown, I guess, and another league episode, which they're always fun. So if you guys have listened, we appreciate it. And if you haven't, you can fuck off. So
suck Tim's wiener.
Yeah. Somebody finally voted again for I'm fine with half point PPR. That has moved to 8. There is only one person that has not voted on that poll.
Do you have any idea who it is?
I could probably take a guess, but I might be wrong.
Who do you think?
I'm going to say it's somebody also voted for after 1 year grace period at the beginning of 18. Who is it?
I don't know.
Man, that's interesting.
It's probably you dumbass.
It might be. It might be. But let's talk about we're going to do another what the heck? Hopefully in 2 minutes, Tim. All right, so we'll see.
Wait, he's leaving in 2 minutes or he'll be here in 2 minutes?
I don't know.
Fucking idiot.
Regardless, we're going to be here without Tim for the time being, so hopefully you guys will enjoy this. We're going to do another mock draft real quick, real basic, as quick as we can, with some people's keepers that have been updated in a sense. So yeah, let's start off with me real quick. Anything change, or we're going to keep that the same?
I think you are staying the same.
Staying the same. So
Doug Martin, Dez, Michael Thomas, Keenan Allen, Jordan Reed.
All right. I think the only two people that we can really talk about that have had any significant change would be possibly Justin.
Yep.
Instead of keeping Greg Olsen, sounds like he's keeping Tevin Coleman.
It's smart. We brought that up last week. Justin is claiming that he didn't listen to the show. I'm pretty sure he did and stole our idea.
I actually did not have the show launched until a day after. I actually had to stop at my mom's house to go drop a cooler off, and he's like, Greg Olsen. I'm like, what are you fucking laughing at? And he's like, I'm not going to keep him. I'm keeping Tevin Coleman. Without even thinking, that's what he said. So, and rightfully so. After we discussed it on the last episode, it really makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
You keep 3 running backs. You don't have to reach for one. You don't have to rely on a possible Amir Abdullah or somebody that's coming off an injury. You have Freeman. If Freeman goes down, you got Coleman, but Coleman can produce in his own right. So it makes a lot of sense.
And you got to like where Justin's sitting in the draft right now. He's at 6'9". Most likely, he'll probably be the second person taking a wide receiver in the first. So that's good. He's going to get really solid value, pretty much going to be able to get the guy he wants. He loves going after those rookie wide receivers, so most likely I could see Davis falling to him there if he wants him.
Well, let's talk about this. So we have Justin now keeping Tevin Coleman. In our original mock draft, we had it going Fournette, McCaffrey, Mixon to me, Mike, and then Cook to Danny. I don't think that any of that changes.
No.
And then Marshawn Lynch going to Kevin at 5, and then Tevin Coleman we had originally at Joey at 6'6". Does that now change Joey's mindset of what he does?
I think he's still going to go running back, or he's going to find a way to trade for a running back, but I think that's one of the higher guys on Joey's list, Tevin Coleman. And
I would agree. I would totally agree with that. After he misses out on Lynch, because I don't think Kevin's going to trade that pick. I really don't.
No.
And then Tevin Coleman, I think, was going to be Joey's guy after that. And Joey's like in no man's land right now. We could see him taking a quarterback there. We could see him taking an Amir Abdullah, but I really don't think so. Maybe a P. Ryan if P. Ryan really comes out and says that, hey, I'm the starter, and they finally give it to him. But Joey's in a spot that I would not want to be in, or maybe you do want to be in. Maybe you want everybody guessing on where you're gonna draft.
Yeah. Right now, no one really has any idea. Hopefully he gets drunk and kind of spills the beans of what his main goal is, but
maybe tomorrow. We are going golfing, so we'll see.
Other than that, normally he's pretty hush-hush and likes to keep people guessing, but I would not blame him one bit. Let's say Tom Brady, Drew Brees are both thrown back in, or even the Matt Ryan. If he goes and gets one of those guys is going to be a nice advantage for him. Yeah, having a running back 2 that's shitty kind of sucks, but when you have an elite level running back 1, three really fucking good wide receivers, an elite tight end, and an elite quarterback, he's still going to be a very good team, and he's still got some of the best keepers in the league right now.
Yeah, the way I look at it too is if he does go quarterback there, say if those three quarterbacks are available, right? Does he go Tom Brady? Does he go Matt Ryan? Does he go Drew Brees? Me personally, if I were him, I would go Tom Brady, but I know deep down inside he loves that quarterback and wide receiver connection with Julio. So It would almost make sense. Bite the bullet, take Matt Ryan, feel comfortable with it, and know that you have your quarterback that you're going to rely on that is in connection with your wide receiver. The other option, too, is later on in the draft, he has picked 7-7. Chances are one of those running backs that he may be looking at, a Frank Gore, a Gillislee, a Amir Abdullah, a Hunt, or a Pirine, may drop all the way down to there.
Oh, yeah, there's gonna be very good value in the 7th round with running backs, thanks to the amount of rookie running backs that have been flushed into the league in the redraft process. It's going to be extremely deep. It's not going to be like normal when they're pretty much running out by the first few picks in the 7th round. There's going to be a lot of value in the 7th and early 8th in this year's draft.
Now, in our last episode, we were also talking about one Mr. Alex Snap, and you guys were under the assumption that he would keep Adrian Peterson. I'm still holding true that he will not keep Adrian Peterson. We did do some talking, and I just really don't believe that he would. And then I looked at the rest of his team, and he could keep a Cameron Meredith. He can keep a Willie Snead. I think he keeps one of those guys. Me personally, that's the way I'm looking at it now over and over again. Now, if they came out and said, you know what, Mark Ingram's not our guy, Adrian Peterson is now the guy, then I could see that change. But with that being said, so if we have Alex switching his mind and keeping a wide receiver then, and not a running back, so not 3 running backs, does he go running back in the first round?
I think you would have to. That's kind of his MO. He likes to fill up on those skill position players, which is extremely smart. Last year he kept 3 running backs, 2 receivers, and wide receiver running back with his first 2 picks. So he likes to load up at those spots, and that's why he always has a deep team.
Yeah. I'm just very interested, again, on what running back you'd be looking at that spot. Again, we've said top running backs after that, Gillislee, Gore. I could see him taking a Frank Gore there.
Yeah.
Because that's just, it makes sense. Could you imagine Frank Gore as your number 3? A lot of people would be wanting him as their number 2.
You are sitting pretty if you'd have Gore as your number 3.
Do you think he would go Gore there?
I don't think so.
No?
It's tough. There's like Gillislee right now. Some people are super high on him. Some people don't like him. But you just got to imagine the number 1 guy in New England on that offense. They're saying he's going to get those goal line touches. I think he's going to.
Yeah.
We saw what Blunt did last year with those goal line touches. So I think Gillislee has a pretty high ceiling there with New England. But there's a lot of guys who they're big time risks right now. Like I love Pirine. That's who you guys had me take last week.
Yep.
But I think it's gonna open up as a running back by committee. It's gonna be ugly at first, but he's gonna have a good chance to take over that role eventually.
Well, let's do this. We have Fournette, McCaffrey, Mixon, Cook, Lynch, going to me, Mike, Danny, Kevin. We have Joey now. What do you think? A quarterback here? Would you go Matt Ryan?
Let's go quarterback here. I'm gonna say Tom Brady.
Say Tom. Oh, you want to say Tom Brady there?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go Brady. So now we're at me here. Again, last week I said I would not take one Martavis Bryant.
So right here, I'm thinking you're gonna want to address the wide receiver spot, maybe running back, but you got 3 running backs right now. Once week 4 comes around, they will all be starters.
Yep.
That's one thing nice about Doug Martin. But I think you're really worried about Keenan Allen right now, and it kind of seems like you've been cursed at the wide receiver spot. You want to be deep there. I really have no idea what you're going to do. I think you're going to reach on a guy.
Wild card.
Yeah. You keep saying you're going to reach on a guy.
Oh, I definitely am. Twice.
I'm going to say Corey Coleman.
Corey Coleman.
Total fucking reach.
What?
I don't know. That's you said he wasn't a guy we picked last week, and he's like a round after.
All right, Corey Coleman. That's a weird pick, but
It is fucking weird.
we'll go with it. Next up would be, me personally, I would go with Edelman over Corey Coleman. That's just me.
You're not going to draft Edelman.
Well, I'm not going to.
Well, no
but-
shit. That's
but I
what like a
would.
normal person.
Yeah.
Like if you
Normal
were
people.
if you were like Danny right here,
Yeah.
and he was in your spot, I'd be like, yeah, Edelman. Edelman's fine. You don't like white receivers
That's
first,
true.
and you don't like older guys. Edelman's getting over the age of 30, and you hate players that are getting to that age.
All right, Corey Coleman. Weird pick, but I'll live with it. Next up, Alex. We under the assumption running back, so Mike Gillislee make a lot of sense.
Mike Gillislee, I
Yeah.
like that.
Next up, we have Justin. Last week, we had him going with one Corey Davis to screw over a Mr. Michael Agent. And after doing some investigating on my own behalf, it sounds like we may be close on what Mike is targeting. But there may be a guy or two that we didn't think of for Mike.
For Justin here, I'm gonna stick with our same Corey Davis pick.
Oh, Corey Davis there. I like that.
I think it just fits what Justin has done in the past. Look, right now he's got Mike Evans, and he has him because he drafted him early in a draft.
True.
And he likes getting those younger receivers and holding on to them. Yeah, it's a big-time investment, wasting your 6th-round pick on a guy who probably won't be starting for you most of the year. But Justin's got very good keepers this year, solid players all around, and I think Corey Davis could be a worthwhile number 3 for him right now.
Next up, going to Mike's pick then, we have him already taking Joe Mixon at pick 3. He's got Aaron Rodgers, Ty Montgomery, Eddie Lacy, Michael Crabtree, Jarvis Landry. So it's safe to say he goes wide receiver.
I could see that. It's
So-
kind of ugly.
Last week we had him taking Crowder and Williams. And I think Williams is safe. I think we can keep Williams there, right?
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, I like Crowder, and I think Mike likes Crowder, but at the same time, I think if Julian Edelman or Fitz is there, to have one of those guys possibly be your 2 or 3 or maybe even 4, I don't know if you can pass on that for a Crowder who you're not going to know what you're getting out of, where he could be the number 1, the number 2, or the number 3 option on that team.
Yeah, let's go with best available. I think that'd be Julian Edelman right here for Mike.
So would you keep Williams then?
Yeah, keep
Okay.
Williams as well.
So Edelman.
I think that makes sense, though. Look, Mike has the 2 receivers now. Both of them are pretty safe guys. He's getting another safe guy in Edelman. Then he's getting another piece that he could build for the future on with Mike
Exactly.
Williams for next year.
And
Keep
if you
that
go
guy.
if you go Crowder and if you go Crowder and then you go Williams, then you're going youth. And I'm under the assumption with myself that if one doesn't hit, another one might.
Yeah.
Now with that, Crowder is in a little different ball game because I think he's 25, 26 years old
Yeah.
now. So Crowder and Williams are not on the same level in my opinion. So I don't know. It all really depends. I think you take your chance with Williams, draft Edelman. He's the proven guy, just got a contract extension. You do that, you have a proven guy, you have some youth movement behind it, and then you go from there. Cool. Next up, me.
You are up again. Everyone's leaning quarterback right now. I don't think that's going to happen.
There we go.
You're going to
Finally, somebody thinking smart.
do something nuts. I'm going to go Kenneth Dixon.
Kenneth Dixon.
Running
you just
back.
picking people off a goddamn piece of paper?
They're late. But I like Kenneth Dixon. I know you like Kenneth Dixon. I think there's a huge time fucking reach for Kenneth Dixon right here. I think he's got a chance to be the Ravens starting running back eventually. You already have 1 suspended running back. Why not make it 2? Come week 5, you'd have 4 starting running backs in the NFL. Dixon's that multi-tool player. He's going to be valuable in PPR. I don't know if this is the right pick, but I just think you're going to go off the wall. You could be fucking with me completely and doing something similar to that we thought last week, but that's what I'm going with Kenneth Dixon.
All right, I hate it, but we'll go with it. Next up, we got Jerry, who tosses Tom Brady back into the pool. And does he go Breeze? Last week we had him going Breeze here. Or does he go with someone else, maybe a wide receiver? Or he's keeping 3 running backs. He's trying to make a push for 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex, which is not going to happen. And I'm gonna explain why it's not going to happen, Jerry, because the fact that just because you're the only person besides Justin keeping 3 running backs does not mean that you get to switch or want to switch to a 2-2-1 flex. That is not reason enough.
I like how we're different in that aspect. I just like how we're two running backs, 3 receivers. There's not a lot of leagues like that anymore. That used to be the kind of standard, and now that flex has become really popular.
Yeah.
But I like us being a little different. With Jerry though, look, I think he'd be pissed off right here. I really think he wants Mike Williams. I don't think that Jerry thinks he'll be taking the 6th. And I also think if Williams isn't there, Jerry's ideal situation would be Tom Brady falling to him again. He likes Tom Brady. Tom Brady helped him make the playoffs for the first time in our league last year.
Yep.
So there is some connection there. But I'm going to stay with Breeze. I'm going to go stick with the quarterback. I think he's the best available player. I don't know if he would actually make this pick, but I don't know. Where's your head at on this one?
I think right now Jerry's at a crossroads where he realized last year Tom Brady got him there just like you said, and he might think to himself, you know what? I'm at this spot. Tom Brady was drafted 6'6". I made a mistake. I need a quarterback, and he'll go Breeze. Or he could go Matt Ryan, but I think Breeze is the better option. So, I do agree with you. I got Breeze going there. Next up, Spencer, 7-2. Last time we had him taking Mike Gillislee.
I think Spencer likes Gillislee. I think he's interested in him. I've heard him mention his name a couple times, but he's off the board right now.
He probably doesn't know what fucking team Mike Gillislee is on. He probably thinks he's still on the Bills.
He might.
If you guys did not hear, he thought Brandon Cooks was on the Titans. So when they drafted, what's his name, Corey Davis, he was like, oh,
shit,
dang it, Cooks' value's out the window. I'm like, what are you talking about? So regardless, we have him keeping 2 running backs, Anderson, Howard, and then Cooks, Tate, and who was the other one? Tyreek Hill, right?
Yeah.
So I think that makes the most sense. Tyreek Hill going back getting kept, throwing Moncrief back into the pool. Maybe he takes Moncrief. Maybe he doesn't want to let Moncrief go. He thinks very highly of him. He's got back-to-back picks. I think he maybe goes running back, wide receiver here.
Yeah, I think that's almost a lock for him to go running back, receiver, unless a Brady or Drew Brees falls to him with one of those 2 picks. Spencer has taken a quarterback early before, and last year the only reason Spencer made the Starfish Bowl was because he had an elite quarterback.
Yeah. Now, I think if Mike Gillislee is gone, he is going to go with one Amir Abdullah.
I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, Frank Gore is an option as well, but I think Amir Abdullah would make the smarter pick here.
Yeah.
So,
Go
Abdullah.
with Amir.
And then Moncrief?
Yeah, I still like the Moncrief. It fits. Spencer had him on his team last year when the dude was healthy. Spencer was playing him. And pretty much every time Spencer started him, the dude had a touchdown.
That's
so
true.
When you have a player produce for you in the past, it means something, and a lot of times you will draft them in the future. So I like Moncrief going there. I don't think he's going to last very long in the 7th.
Next up, Justin. Again, we had him taking one Corey Davis, so rookie wide receiver. We have him still having Devonta Freeman, DeMarco Murray, Mike Evans, Hopkins, and Tevin Coleman. What do you think? Wide receiver again here, or does he go with Greg Olsen?
I'm thinking Greg Olsen.
Yeah?
Look.
He knew he was going to fall to him?
Yeah, there's a very good chance that Olsen will slide to Justin, and throwing him back in is smarter for him than throwing Coleman back in. So getting Olsen here, he'd pretty much get both guys that he wanted to keep, and he's still got a solid team going right now.
Oh, actually, I forgot we had him. Oh no, that was Mike with Edelman. My fault. I could see that. I could also see a wide receiver here if Fitz is still there. I could see Justin really thinking about Fitz as well. Just because Corey Davis rolling in there with him as your number 3 is a very risky option. But if you draft one Greg Olsen, it's kind of a security blanket. You can kind of take a risk on one of the wide receivers later on. So Olsen there, I like it. We'll do that. Next up, Alex.
Alex is on the clock. Who did you go last time?
We had Matt Ryan for him.
Okay. And right now he has 2 running backs. He's got 3 receivers that he kept. Who did he take in the first?
We had him taking Gillislee.
So, yeah, I could see him going quarterback, wide receiver, or tight end here. I think if Olsen was on the board, that Alex might have been targeting him right there. Alex invests early picks in tight ends. Last year he took 2 with his first 5 picks, and those picks were both in the 7th and 8th round that he selected tight ends last year, so you can't put it past him. But I like the Matt Ryan. We had that last week.
Do you like Matt Ryan, or do you like a pick of a Dak Prescott or a Russell Wilson over a Matt Ryan, just because that is the style of quarterback that Alex has continuously drafted? He's drafted Wilson numerous times. Dak Prescott, I actually drafted last year. Ended up dropping him, but he ended up picking him up and playing him. He likes those quick, mobile quarterbacks that can get points on the run and through the air.
Alex, that's what he has liked, but I don't see him taking a Dak right here. I really see Dak or Russell kind of sliding a little bit. So we could have him wait till 7-11 to take quarterback.
Yeah, what about Larry Fitz here for Alex?
Yeah,
he had him on his team here. You get another wide receiver to go with your possible 3 wide receivers you're keeping. We have him keeping Jordy, Doug, and then maybe Cam or Willie Snead. Snead's an option. Fitz is an option. I think Fitz is the best option here, the best available. Would you go Fitz here?
We go Fitz here.
Okay. Because I think you can wait until round 8 to really get a. If you get a Matt Ryan there, if he slides, awesome. Mm-hmm. If not, I feel like he's comfortable enough with Dak Prescott and Russell Wilson. So we'll go Fitz. Next up, we got you, Tom. You haven't made a pick yet. You ended up making the deal with one Josh Schultz, and you ended up getting pick number 7-6. We talked about possibly trading that, doing whatever we need to do. I still think that you go running back here. There's a possibility that you can go wide receiver. Looking at the best wideouts available, there's Martavis Bryant, again, who we had in the first round. Moncrief is off the board. Fitz now comes off the board. Snead is still there. Garcon, who I know that you've talked about over and over again.
We still got Crowder on the board.
Crowder's still on the board. There's a lot of good wide receivers out there. But me personally, I feel like you want to go running back, and I feel like if Frank Gore is there, you might just have to pick Frank Gore. He's Mr. Reliable, and regardless of him possibly splitting time, I just think it makes a lot of sense.
I think Gore's total touches are going to go down a little bit this year, but I still think getting him as my running back too, I'm going to feel comfortable with it. I think I'm pretty solid at my running back 1. I like my receivers quite a bit, and I got Andy Luck, so getting Gore there. Yeah, I'll have a fuckload of Colts on my team, but it'll work out.
Hello, Tim.
What's up, man?
What's up?
Hey, I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
Alrighty.
We're basically trying to figure out now. We walked around the corner, a garbage truck essentially crashed into a pole.
Well, that's not good.
Here and knocked out like 50. It's only 50% of the units. Half the unit, the buildings are still on. Half of the buildings are off. But they say if it's not on like an hour, we have to pack up a bunch of shit and go somewhere. So. If it comes on quickly here, then I'll head that way. I'll keep you up to date, but of course my phone has like 5% battery left, so.
Well, maybe you should charge it.
Because that's possible, a-hole.
All right, man. Sounds good.
All right.
All right, bye. Well, if you guys haven't heard, Tim will not be here, so we will be continuing this journey, and you can close the door, Justin.
Justin!
So, I got you going Frank Gore there, Tom. Again, all the reasons that we just talked about, I think it just makes sense. So, we're gonna lock you up with Tom. We're gonna lock you up with Gore right there. Next up, we have Joey at pick 7-7, and again, we had Joey taking one Tom Brady. So now that kind of locks up his quarterback spot, and
I think he'd be pissed if the draft rolled around like this. He invested in Tom Brady in the first round. And Matt Ryan was still going to be there in the 7th. He'd probably be pretty pissed off.
Yeah, he could have taken a running back. Gillislee, he could have taken there. And now you look at Alex's team, he got Gillislee and he got Matt Ryan.
Yep.
So I think if that happened to Joey, he'd be very upset. And there's nothing better than an upset Joey. So we have – that was Justin laughing in the back. So we have, again, Julio, David Johnson. I think he's got to go running back here.
He has to.
As much as he says that he believes in running backs later on in this draft, I don't think so. He's got to go running back. Best available, I don't know. Who do we have?
Paul Perkins.
You think he goes Paul Perkins there?
Well,
Shit, I would not be happy.
Best available would be Robert Kelly, Danny Woodhead, Paul Perkins, Theo Riddick, Jay Stu. Got Samaje Perine, Kareem Hunt, CJ Prosise, Matt Forte, possibly Bilal Powell if Tim throws him back in.
It's getting ugly.
So it's not very pretty.
Almost makes me think now that we got to change Joey's pick to a running back to begin. But at the same time, we're too far ahead to do that, so we're not going to. I think he's got to pick whoever is going to be the starter between one Rob Kelly and one Samaje Perine. I think he has to.
Just put Washington running back.
All right, Washington running back. Next up, we got Kevin's disaster of a team.
Oh, God.
What do you want to just throw a dart at the wall and pick a name?
So right now
Last time we had him keeping Willie Snead.
Or drafting Willie Snead.
Or yeah, I'm sorry, drafting Willie Snead.
So we had him keep Duke Johnson, which is really bad.
I think he's got to go running back.
Yeah.
Regardless of him keeping Duke Johnson.
It's still ugly, but his receivers, it's pretty ugly as well.
I know.
He
I
only
don't know what else to say.
he kept Jeremy Maclin and Stephon Diggs, right? That's what we had him keeping.
Yeah.
We have to give him a receiver here. Right now, he's got a quarterback, 3 running backs, 2 receivers. Kevin likes to fill out his team.
What about Crowder then? Does that make sense?
I'd go Crowder or Martavis.
Oh, Martavis. I like Martavis. Justin, thoughts?
Do we update our trade? I feel
Trade? Justin, come talk on the here. This is on. We'll turn you on.
No, it's cool. I'm alright.
There, we're all good. Justin, you're live. Go ahead.
You got something to announce, Justin?
Team Pony Cake Sports.
But yeah, so I think it makes sense if he goes with a running back there, just like we talked about. Wide receiver, Martavis Bryant. Makes sense, right? All right, so next up, we're going to go Danny. We had him taking Hunt. I say we still have to keep it there. He's got to back up.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
The pick makes sense.
As much as I don't like it, it makes too much sense not to do. He's kind of almost backed up into a wall where he has to. Next up, we have Tim. Last time we had him taking Fitz.
He ain't on the board anymore.
He's not?
Wasn't Fitz taken?
Yeah. No, he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Tim keeping Fitz. Obviously, that's not going to happen this time. Who we got? Crowder's gone. Fitz is gone. Or no, Crowder's still there.
I'd have to go Crowder. Right now, he's kind of been teasing even keeping him. Because
if Crowder or Phil, I think he'd be very happy.
Oh, yeah. That's an absolute steal. Tim also likes Pierre Garçon. Pretty
Tim's
much.
also a faggot.
that is somewhat true. But Tim's done like 8 mock drafts lately. Every draft he has Pierre in it. Maybe he's just throwing a smoke screen. But I don't think Tim's that smart.
Yeah, I agree. Tim, Crowder for me. Next up, we got Alex at 7-11. What do you got him going here?
Well, he still needs a quarterback. We had him get Fitz. Originally, we were thinking that quarterback spot. Matty Ice still on the board, isn't he?
Yep, Matty Ice is still there.
But he loves those quarterbacks who can wiggle.
Yep.
Let's give him Dak here.
Dak here? All right. I can live with that.
Dak's won him a few games, led him to the playoffs last year.
And like I said, it made sense. You take Fitz earlier, and then you get Dak later on. And if somebody in that little thing, you could, if Joey went running back or wide receiver first, Joey could have easily taken Matt Ryan there, and then Dak could have slid exactly like how Alex would have wanted. All right, last of the 7th round, Mike Agent.
Mike really wants to fill his team out right now. He's got starting quarterback. He's got multiple running backs, multiple receivers. He still needs that tight end. It would make sense to go best available Delaney Walker. But fuck that. He goes Martellus Bennett. He likes unicorns, and he loves the black ones.
Yeah, I had Martellus Bennett going to this spot. Tim talked us out of it last time, and he's the devil for that. But he loves his Packers players, as simple as it is. So he's going to go Bennett here. I think it's kind of childish and silly to have 3 Packers players, but that's just me. So we'll see what happens. Chances are he even drafts one of the backup running backs. So he'll have maybe even 4 or 5 guys. And I know he was very interested when Devontae Adams was available.
Yep.
So he's a sick individual, and we'll see what he does. But, I mean, to get Martellus Bennett there, seeing what Cook did at the end of the year, it does make some sense. So that is the end of our mock draft. Do you have anything else you want to say, Tom, before we get done with this?
I'm still kind of intrigued about you two. You guys kind of made that eye contact. You're like, you want to announce something, Justin? You're like, oh, you're on. And now
Well,
Justin's being quiet. What's
going
going on?
We had a very funny conversation through text message. I told him to pound it, and I gave him the fist pound on the phone, and he lost his mind. So it was pretty funny. But yeah, we might have some news later on to break. We haven't really 100% discussed if we're going to do this trade or not, and if we do, Mike is going to be very upset, and I'm going to laugh my dick off. So,
Who am I drafting?
huh?
Who am I drafting?
We have you drafting one Corey Davis at pick 6'9".
Oh, it won't be me drafting.
Oh, dang.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, so the other thing that we wanted to say is we know we've had a lot of changes with the league, everything like that. I kind of want to just talk about it. I feel like a lot of the changes have been for the better. In a sense, there have been some goofy changes that we've had, but I think everything's been for the positive of the league, and hopefully we don't have too many more changes to go from here. But I think the way that you got to look at it is it's all for the growth and the positivity of the league, and it's to make sure everybody's having fun and keep the league alive. We like to think of this as, how you said yesterday, a 365-day experience, you know. We like to think of it like that, and it's fun when you think of a league like that, especially when you have 12 people that have hung out and, you know, have talked on a daily basis. Even though I know some people don't like the text messages or the group messages or group me or, you know, just talking about it in general. Some people got fantasy football on the back burner. We understand that. But, you know, it gets to a point where, you know, we're just trying to grow the league and not grow it, but, you know, just have fun. And some people want to make sure that they have the 365-day experience on it. And if not for you guys or some of you guys, then it's not a big deal. It is what it is. Off season is what it is. It's off season. So there'll still be those guys that do those trades in the off season, and that's what we like about it. Anything else?
Well said, Joshua.
All right.
God damn it.
What?
Fucking bench Billy Hamilton. Motherfucker hits a home run.
Well, he's a scrub.
God
That's all we got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed. And, yeah, Tim, Mike, we're looking at you.